NordVPN is becoming more than just a VPN. Threat protection will guard your device against malicious websites, malware, trackers, and intrusive ads, even if you're not connected to a VPN server at the time. Step up your cybersecurity and stay safe.
Got crypto? Got a hardware wallet to keep your crypto safe? Then you have to have one of these to keep your seed phrase safe. The KEYSTONE tablet is fireproof, waterproof, erosion resistant. You can use it to store 12-word, 18-word, 15-word, 24-word seed phrases. Get one, get two, get three, have multiple copies. Use my affiliate link in the description below. Hi everybody, welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world, whenever you are in the world that you're listening to this. This is Crypto Rich, and I am hosting this Zano space, a monthly development update for the month of March. What have Zano accomplished in the month of March? I'm joined by Rava and Crypt Junkie and Gombatfire. Crypt Junkie and Gombatfire are here as listeners, it would appear. This is the first time I've done this with Zano. I've done this with other projects. This will go out on my Odyssey channel, bit.ly/CryptoRichOdyssey, and it will also go out through Zano's social media. Now, I just want to check that you can all hear me okay. If you can... Yes,
I can hear you.
Very good. And the listeners, if you can just put some emoji in. Cryptomancy and Gone Backfire, Crypt Junkie, if you can, any of you can put a little emoji or send a message. I don't know how Twitter Spaces works. Okay, I saw that, Gone Backfire. I saw your thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, so Rava, do you want to start by just introducing Zano very quickly, and then Crypto Soul is also here from the team. Crypto Soul, if you could send a request to become a speaker, and I'll add you to a speaker. But if you just want to start, just say a little bit about Zano, Rava, and then say a little bit about yourself and what you do with the team.
Of course. I don't think we should introduce the Zano as the project, because I could see that our listeners are well aware of what we are doing. I could do like a brief overview of what we accomplished.
Just very brief. And when it goes out on your social media and on my channel, people may not know. What is this, Zano?
Right. Yeah, this is the first time for me also I'm doing it, so I'm not like familiar how it's supposed to be done. What we do in Zano, we are building a coin, a privacy-focused coin, and recently we tried to make it more like an ecosystem with our most recent update with Signum and confidential assets. So right now we are building an ecosystem with extensive APIs, confidential assets. Well, that would be it, I suppose.
Yes. A privacy crypto that's building a privacy-focused ecosystem, which I think is increasingly...
I don't know if... Sorry. I just don't know, like, should I be technical about it? Like how it works, what the underlying technology, or just brief overview should suffice?
That's absolutely fine, because we've only got about half an hour for this, right? And
all right. I will give it a brief.
Yeah, and I'll have all the links in the description below when I post this video, but it's Zano if you want to look for it on CoinGecko. And also, Rava, the Zano team, when it goes out on social media, you'll have all the connections and stuff. And I think given what's going on in the world, privacy is more and more increasingly important. No privacy, no freedom. And I just want to say we have some very, very exciting news regarding Zano coming out in the next hour or so. We're not going to make it public in this Twitter space, but do watch what's happening in the crypto world and do check in with Zano's social media in the next hour or so. Some very exciting news. Okay. Hey, Crypto Soul, do you want to say what it is you do for the dev team? And then, Rava, you can say what you do with the dev team, and then we'll start with the updates.
So I can probably start myself.
Go, Rava.
With the Zano team, I'm more like a product manager guy. I'm responsible for every tasks that are not core development, which is handled by my colleagues. So, who is here, our lead researcher and a mathematician, and Andrei Cryptozoides, who's responsible for the whole crypto node thing. And I'm mostly taking care of everything apart from that. Web applications, websites, interfaces, that kind of stuff. So I can give a brief rundown of what is going on with Zano as a product, and later, I don't know.
Sure.
I hear.
Let's hear from Crypto Soul.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, hi guys.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Well, but I also known as Sol. I'm a lead research developer at Zano, and I'm in charge of making a mathematical research and core development. So this is my role at the project. And what else?
Okay, well, that's enough. Thank you. Thank you. And I know Zano has quite an extensive team working on using their incredibly, powerful, potent privacy tech. Do one of you want to start by saying what you've been up to in March in terms of development? Oh, and by the way, before you do that, we're not going to cover marketing. We're going to be doing these updates on a regular basis every month. And perhaps in the next one, we'll cover marketing. Right. So tell us what's been happening in the world of Zano development in the last month.
So I start with quite technical things. Mm-hmm. I try to cover it as general as possible, and then maybe Pavel add what is happening like in product space and in general. So Zano using Givrit proof of stake and proof of work consensus, and some time ago we decided to greatly improve our privacy that we have in Zano. And to do this, we decided to incorporate hidden amount and ring confidential transactions. But we faced a challenge that proof of stake model that we're using, it's also called a stochastic proof of stake or a vegetarian proof of stake, where everybody is liable to make a block and don't need a huge amount of stake to join. So this model doesn't fit well into the concept of where amount is hidden, and you like external observer of the blockchain can see what's happening. But we solved this issue, and the solution is called Zirconium. It's a technology that we developed some time ago with great help with Koi, a developer from Monero team. And we published a white paper. So we previously, the last year, we implemented this technology, and then we decided that we would like to improve the Zano in more, and we decided to implement confidential assets to make Zano to make it possible for everyone to create assets, whatever asset they would need on a private blockchain, and that required additional mathematical research. And after that, we found out scheme how confidential assets, so assets that is hidden and is anonymous, how to incorporate it in Zano and in our blockchain, where we already, by that moment, we already had Zirconium implemented. And it was another challenge for our team. And by now, we solve almost all mathematical challenges and problems, and we coded it as a proof of concept in our code base, and now we are working hard on debugging and preparing for launch a testnet to make sure that everything that we did is working fluently and no bugs. And after that, we will move to making this testnet public, and then to public release for a mainnet. So this is briefly what is going on. So we are working hard on implementing confidential assets, and we hope that in next several days we make it available as a testnet.
Okay, in the next several days as a testnet. I just got to say, CryptoSol, that is just extraordinary, because the challenge with staking, using the staked assets to validate the transactions, so it's not just a reward that you're getting, but the challenge with staking privacy coins is, as you said, the blockchain, the code needs to be able to read what's in each of the wallet to give the staking rewards.
Yeah, sure.
And how do you do that with the privacy crypto? So credit to you and your team for working this out. And you're going to be launching the testnet in the next few days, and then people can try it out, staking test Zano coins and getting test Zano staking rewards. Is that right?
That is correct. Zano always has the hybrid proof of stake and proof of work consensus, but now we greatly improving the privacy and implementing confidential assets on top of it. So right now, at that moment in Zano mainnet, you can see and you can stake Zano already, so it was be so from the inception, and this update going to be mostly anonymous update. So we improve anonymity, hugely improve, and also we bring a confidential assets. So on top of that, everyone will be able to create custom assets. To emit this asset and manipulate it asset maybe to solve something or whatever. So it up to public what to do with these assets. We only make a mechanism, and we would like to make sure that it's working smoothly and it's anonymous. So blockchain observers, the users who are using Block Explorer, won't be able to determine which kind of asset is transferring in some particular transaction.
Right. Very good. Very good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Rava, anything you want to add or anything else you want to talk about in terms of development?
Well, I could just try to summarize what already said. The most exciting part of the upcoming public testnet is the ability for users to create the confidential assets, which are essentially tokens with the features of natively private coin, because whatever is going on under the hood, no one really is interested about that. But this is the part that everyone gets to participate and play around. Okay. This goes as, for the whole part. That's a short summary I wanted to add on top of whatever been said.
Sure, thank you. And will that mean that it could actually be used to launch whole new tokens?
Right. That's the exciting part. You can have your own tokens. Before, if you are a developer and for whatever purposes you need a privacy coin for your project, doesn't matter what you do, you do VPN or you sell stuff, in the dark market, that doesn't matter. You have to go with the overhead of forking an existing coin and running your blockchain, maintaining all that. This is a lot of work, and the privacy field is especially complicated. So you run into all kinds of troubles right now. With confidential assets, you don't need to do any of that. It will be working on top of Zano blockchain, having all the privacy features of native Zano coin, and you can launch that project in a couple of days.
Oh, wow. Okay. And is it going to have a really easy graphic user interface for someone like me, because I'm not technical, I'm not a coder, that I could launch my own token?
Right, for a public testnet, keep hearing feedback. All right, for a public testnet, we're gonna stick with CLI interface. It's not gonna be graphic, but with the mainnet release, probably around June, we'll have a graphic interface part as well.
Right. Okay. So it will eventually be easy for someone like me, a crypto novice.
Yes, absolutely. It shouldn't be more complicated than launching an ERC20 token. That's the goal. Right. And by launching this, we kind of want to set a standard among privacy chains, because we are not the only team working in that direction. There's also Pyro and I heard Zcash doing the shielded assets. So we want privacy projects to come together on that and work out some sort of API and have their confidential assets working relatively in the same way.
Right, okay. And these confidential assets, so it's crystal clear for everybody, will have the same privacy features as Zano.
Yes, exactly. This is one of the major things. So actually did that before. It was kind of already implemented by various teams, but they had subsets of assets. So they only been mixed between each other, making the decoy ring selection much smaller. With the Zarkana confidential assets, they're going to be mixed in with all assets available on the chain, including native coins. So every transaction essentially indistinguishable. No one knows what kind of assets you've been sending around, and if it's an asset even or a native coin.
Wow.
Yeah, I would like to say that, like in some coins, it would be obvious that some assets has some certain type. Like for instance, if you have a proof of work block, the output of the mining transaction obviously will be native coins. But otherwise, all the transactions will have this hidden assets. So we make a special hiding mechanism, special mathematical proof that makes sure that no assets are created out of thin air, but all assets are transferred within the transactions correctly. So observers and blockchain validators can make sure that everything is correct. But otherwise, it would be impossible to say what assets are really used in that transaction in particular.
Right. Okay. Now, these assets, without getting too technical, supposing each of the listeners here, Crypt Junkie, Gone Back Fire, Muda Muda, and listener, created their own different tokens, would those tokens be resting on top of the Zano network, or would they be independent blockchains? You know, would there be any risk of congestion?
No congestion. It's going to be working on top of Zano blockchain just as native Zano coins.
Right. Okay. I got it. So the native Zano coins, but with a different name on it.
Essentially, yes, they're indistinguishable.
Okay. And then you'll make sure that it stays within the tokenomics of Zano.
Now, every coin, like not coin, asset, let's call them assets because there are different terms like tokens and assets. We kind of stick to assets because it's like the most used term, but you can refer to them as tokens. And token maintainer could work out their own tokenomics. It doesn't have to be tied to Zano supply or whatever. When you issue your tokens or assets, you get to decide what's the supply and what's the tokenomics. It's totally up to maintainer, not up to us.
Okay, and then they can use them for their project as they wish. That's extraordinary. That's really
exactly, yeah. That's the goal.
Okay, now, and they come out as a result of the staking rewards, or will somebody have to pay a fee or something to create the assets?
We decided to let the proof of staking mechanism like it is. So staking would require only native coins, and you won't be awarded like in any asset, only in native coins. So this is like it's making things simpler and like more controllable. But anyway, assets can be transferred once they are issued. It can be transferred in any connection.
Okay, but is there any sort of payment fee or charge or cost?
Yeah, when you issue your first an asset, you will need to pay some kind of fee. Not yet decided on that. What exact numbers and prices will be, but some parts that need to be paid in funds.
Okay, so people will need to pay some kind of fee, and you've not decided it yet, what that will be, and the payment will be done in Zano.
You can probably think of it as launching a token on Ethereum. You have to pay some gas fees to deploy your contract on the mainnet. This is going to be similar. Yes, you have to pay certain fees to the miners or whatever. There's going to be a fee, but it's not like a paid service we provide or anything. It's just something network bound.
Okay, very good. All right. Anything else you want to let us know, and then I'll ask if anybody has any questions.
Well, I could also give you a quick rundown on the least exciting part of our development, like the product side. Basically, what else we have been doing for the last month? We've been introducing those assets to the wallets because we have to rethink the interface because it's going to be way different. Now it has to support not a single coin for the history, but any amount of assets. Another project on the product side we've been working on is B2B exchange by publication based on Zano escrow contract. That I don't know if we should spend a lot of time on it, but I can probably refer you to my recent Twitter thread that explains it, like the design decision behind it and how it basically works.
Okay. And can you tell us in a nutshell, Rava?
Well, basically, since the inception, Zano had the escrow mechanism built in, and what it does, it locks up the collateral for both sides participating in the trade, hence removing the need for a trusted third party to facilitate the transaction if it doesn't go as planned. And we can just slap a web interface on it and allow people to make a P2P trades on chain, and it doesn't even have to be in Zano coins. Zano coins work as collateral. And you can trade Bitcoin for Monero, for example, or you can trade Euro for USD. It doesn't matter. Zano acts as a settlement tool.
Okay, and when is that going live?
Well, we are working on the interface, and it's our roadmap, and we're probably gonna have it done by summer, but we'll have to shut down the escrow contracts functionality for some time after Zarcanum upgrade, because it's like super complicated, and we're gonna release it in stages. So it's gonna be working, then it will stop working for a bit, and then we'll enable it again. I'm not quite sure on the timeline, because this is gonna be heavily influenced by the testnet performance after Zarcanum public testnet release.
Sure. No, that sounds really, really exciting. Thank you. Anything else you want to let us know in terms of development?
Well, I guess that was pretty much it.
Okay, and then what are you guys working on in April that you haven't told us about already? Is there anything?
Well, I think it's all on the roadmap. In April, we are going to extensively testing, hopefully that our users support our public testnet. This is like the public testnets are kind of months. We'll see if we run into any issues. And this is probably going to remain the main topic for April.
Right. Okay. And I take it people can find out by joining the Discord group and the Telegram group, and I'll have all the links below. Also, of course,
that is correct.
Given that we're on Twitter, you can also navigate through the Zano Twitter account. Okay. Now, does anybody have any questions about anything that we've covered so far or not covered, but in particular with regards to development? If you want to type out your questions or raise your hand, and then we shall see. And this is the first of what I hope be a regular monthly series of development updates with Zano. You know, Zano's been going for a while. It has a very rich history. Gone Backfire, did you have a question? And Jed T, you're flashing. Do you want to type it in? Yes. Okay, Gone Backfire. How do you want to ask your question? Do you want to type it in? Can you do that? Or do I got to make you a speaker? Okay, let me see if I can make you a speaker. No, I think you have to request it. If you put in a request to be a speaker.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Hi, thank you for the space. Yeah, so I've been following Zano for some time, and I watched the interview with Crypto Cyber on Monero Talk, and he talked about at that point Zano's privacy model was, I suppose, a bit of outdated. He talked about he mentioned that he would like to that the Zano team would like to upgrade its pricing model to be on par and to even compete with Monero. And so I was wondering if Zarcanum is sort of like the last missing piece to complete the desired privacy model that Zano wants to achieve.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So Zarcanum actually a technology that is necessary for us to make a like privacy upgrade, because we decided at some point that we would like to upgrade to confidential transactions, so it's called Ring CT. And as we always, from the inception, we always have proof of stake and proof of work hybrid consensus, we were forced to solve this like issue when your all amounts are hidden, and at the same time you need to convince the verifiers that proof of stake block is valid. So that was an issue for implementing Ring CT and hidden amounts for us. And Zirconium actually is an answer and solution to this issue. So it's a technology that allows us to keep our consensus intact. So proof of stake is working as before the privacy update, and at the same time, with that update, we are having like the same level of privacy as Monero has. And to incorporate this, we need to do some technical things. We need to extend CLSAC signature to few another layers, and we write a white paper covering it with security proofs, because it's really necessary and it's cryptographic things that is important to us, and we would like to make sure that everything is done perfectly in code and in math field. So this is how it works. So yes, Zirconium is actually a technology that allowed us to make this privacy update and keeping our consensus intact.
Fabulous.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, time for one more question, although we really should be finishing up very, very soon. Does anybody have a question? Okay. I'll give you another moment to think about it while I talk over you while you're doing the thinking, which is that this is going to be a monthly occurrence where hopefully I'm going to be hosting these. A development update on what's happening with Zano, what the team are getting up to. There's also some very exciting news regarding Zano, which is going to come out in the next half an hour or so. And you want to find out about that through Zano's social media. We're not going to be talking about it here in this Twitter space, but it is really good news for Zano and good news for privacy and adoption and security. This Twitter space will be going out on my channel, bit.ly/CryptoRichOdyssey, and of course on my YouTube channels, but come and support me on Odyssey. It will also be going out on Zano's social media networks. And I assume that everybody here is already connected to Zano's social media, following them on Twitter, join the Discord group, join the Telegram group, stake your Zano, and spread the word about the importance of Zano and about privacy cryptos. Okay, well, we don't have anybody else asking any questions. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Do watch out on the social media for when the next one will take place, which will be in about a month's time. Thank you to Rava and Crypto Soul for two things. One, for turning up and answering the questions and speaking and letting us know what's going on. But the other, for all the work that you do to support us in preserving our privacy. Because privacy is going to become increasingly important. And I have no idea how stressful, how hard, how many sleepless nights, how many times you pull your own hair out trying to code and work out the mathematics for privacy and also for privacy staking, which is quite an accomplishment. Thank you from everybody who's part of the Zano community and from everybody who's listening. Thank you so much. This is Crypto Rich and Crypto Rava and Zano Rava and Zano Soul signing out. All the best, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Rich, for hosting it and for everybody else joining us today. We'll try to make it into a regular thing.
Yes, that would be good. All right, then. I am leaving, and you should all leave too. All the best. Bye-bye.